if you're afraid to court me or take me out on a $300 date because you feel like that's gonna make you seem like you're tap dancing for me, then just leave me alone.
I feel if you're in a relationship, that's different. You and her have worked yourself out in the relationship. But I feel during the dating process, what else are you bringing to the table? Because it ain't gonna be about what you want anymore. You may not, a lot of women don't look as good as what they're asking for. And they don't understand that your look is your value. If your look does not match what your standards are, you're gonna be lonely because no one's gonna approach you, no one's gonna go for you. Let's get to it.
I feel like that advice kind of sounds like you're coaching men
No.
to like be a little guarded in when they are courting these women or pursuing women. And honestly, like if you're going to come at it from a real genuine place, there has to be a certain level of vulnerability on both parts. If you're afraid to court me or take me out on a $300 date because you feel like that's gonna make you seem like you're tap dancing for me, then just leave me alone.
Come on, young lady. $300 date is 5-star restaurant, 4-star restaurant prices. A man doesn't need to have to take a woman out on a date in order to get him to like her for that. That's wifey dates. Those are long-time girlfriend dates. Those are I help my man build dates. That's what those dates are for when you get around to $300. When you're going through the dating process, you need to keep that less than 50. Denny's, Cheesecake Factory, Red Lobster. Those are things that are still around the $50 era that men need to start to compete with in that era. When they start going off into $300 dates, she's just exposing what Instagram has done to her. Why? Because men don't take pictures of their food and send it out. Women do. Women take pictures of foods and they send it out so they can try to make other women jealous. So they get hooked on this $300 date dinners for their value. I didn't even know that was the intro. Big shout outs to Wolfman. Wolfman just came through with the $10. He said, "What up, man? I'm a certified simp," shaking my head. Just stick on the channel long enough, bro. Admitting that you have the problem is the first sign of recovery. Understand that. When you don't recognize what's been done to you, that's when you have the problem. So if you recognize that you are a simp, trust me, you're on your way to recovery. You have the most advantage. The people that don't recognize it and they running away saying, "Oh, I'm not a simp," they don't have the advantage. That means they would never get better. They would stay inside of their delusion. When you recognize you're a simp, then you can work to get better. But just for you saying it, I really appreciate the donation, but...
So my thoughts on 50-50 relationships. I'm not that big a fan of it. It just seems very transactional to me. Like let's say we have a place and it's $1,000 a month for the rent and it's time to pay rent. And you really hold your hand out to me asking me for $500. Like that feels weird. Especially like if the woman gets up, she has to go to work just like you do, but then you also expect her to come home and like do laundry, wash clothes, if you have kids, take care of kids. Like it just feels weird. I don't like it.
This is what it's going to boil down to when it comes to that 50-50. It goes all the way back to the beginning of the relationship. If she's trying to show you that she's 50-50 with you, then most guys now are just maintaining that energy. That's the downfall of modern day women. You've set the tone for men to be the way that they are. You wanted men to be to connect more with their feelings. Okay, now you got a lot of men that connect more with their feelings, and the more they connect more with their feelings, the more you don't want them or the more you're going to use them. But when you start saying, "I'm just as good as a man, we're equal with a man," and then a man starts giving you equal action, now you try to shame him into what he's believing, but women ain't understanding this is what you wanted. You can't complain about something that you've been asking for years and shaming men into it.
In our community, women have always had to work. Whether it was, working as maids for some rich white family or now working in corporate America, women have always had to work. And Black men haven't had the luxury to realize the American dream like our white counterparts. So in some sense, it's always been 50-50. Maybe not monetarily, but it's always been both parties have had to contribute. And I think right now, one salary it's gonna be hard to make it work with kids.
No, I'm not saying 0 and 100 either.
Okay.
I'm not saying that.
So what is the percentage you would be comfortable with?
I can't come up with that. And see, that feels weird too. So we're gonna start a relationship off and say, okay, 30-70, like.
See, when we have to go into detail, women don't know how to act. If a woman says, oh, I want a man with money, how much money? They only base it on material things. Oh, a $300 dinner or a $5,000 rent or this much. She bases her standards of a man off of what materialistic things that he can buy or expensive things that he can do. But when it comes down to her value and his value, it's only valued on the material things that he can do and what he can do for her. Men have to understand, women are constantly practicing hypergamy. Their goal is to make a certain amount of money, right? So they can attract a man who's making 3 times the amount of money as them. So that gives her a reason to stop working. They ultimately want to stop working. So they say to God, look, I make $100,000 a year. You know what I'm saying? And I want a man that makes $300,000 a year. That way, when they get together, she could quit her $100,000 a year job and just sit at home and raise children. That's ultimately what they want to do. But that has hit the wall for women. It's because men are not programmed that way no more. Men used to be like, I'm going to go out and be the breadwinner. I'm going to work hard to have a business. I'm going to work hard so I can be successful and just take care of my wife. But then women started saying, no, we can do it on our own. Ever since women started saying they can do it on their own, they still want a man to try to be traditional, but he can't. She's made herself a competitor.
It feels weird. I don't have a percentage in mind per se, but I just don't agree with like it being 50-50. Like I feel like a man's role is to provide and to protect, and then a woman is supposed to nurture and love and all of that. So I don't think you would quantify that as a percentage per se, but the man should be able to take care of certain responsibilities in the home without looking for the woman to match exactly what he's putting up. That just feels kind of tacky to me.
Okay, let's talk about it. Because I hear this a lot.
We're gonna split a Duke Energy bill?
Here's the issue I have, because I'm with you on the, like, I don't want my wife to touch anything financial, right? Because I feel like the value that she brings with everything else she does is equivalent to whatever value I bring financially. But with that being said, I think the issue a lot of men are having is like, women still want men to take care of all the finances, but a lot of women are unwilling to take care of anything else. Or it's like, okay, I want you to bring home all the money, but I want you to also help me with the laundry. I also want you to help me with the kids. I also want you to help me with the cooking.
No, I don't agree with that either.
Okay, so that's fair.
So
All right, so that is fair. But what angle is she coming from? All right, if you're going to allow the man to be the breadwinner, yes, she has to take care of those things that he's not supposed to be obligated. But it's different when women are working jobs and they're competing with their husband in the relationship. She's not speaking from that angle. Let's get to it.
See, I think we kind of are on the same page a little bit. But yeah, I don't agree with that. And I also don't think everything financially should fall on the man either. Like, I don't think like his whole check should, especially like, let's say both of you are making $50,000. I wouldn't expect you to spend all of your money on everything and me to never come out of my pocket. That would be kind of crazy. I just don't think that it should just be 50-50.
Okay, I think that's reasonable.
I don't feel like we should go out to a restaurant and like, you know, we're splitting the tab. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so just the action of it.
Yeah, it's tacky.
Yeah, no,
I feel if you're in a relationship, that's different. You and her have worked yourself out in the relationship. But I feel during the dating process, the way that modern women are, if you're with one of these modern feminists and you're with one of these masculine women, I think that you should go 50-50 if the odds are already against you. What do I mean? If you're starting to feel vibes like, you know what, she's going to be combative. I may not see her in the long run. This may just be a quick booty call. I say go 50-50. But if you're in a relationship and you're with a girl that you feeling her vibe, you're reading the room and you're saying, all right, she's submissive. We're probably going to go on another date. I can feel it already. I feel like the man should pay. If the energy is good, I feel like the man should pay. If you're on a date with a woman and she giving you feminist vibes, she's giving you combative vibes, and you just know at the end of the day, the vibe just ain't good, go 50-50 off rip. But that's with dating. In a relationship, that's a different ballgame.
For me personally, I would think like, okay, the mortgage is on auto pay coming out of his account. Well, y'all's account. Mm-hmm. The car, same deal. But like, vacations, the woman can pay for the vacation. Mm-hmm. Going out to eat, small stuff. Yeah, small, especially if she's making money, right? Yeah. Instead of stockpiling her money to the side. Because some women are like that, where they're like, your money is our money, my money is my money.
No, that's not, no.
Okay.
No, like vacations, extracurricular things, like she should be able to cover that. But the responsibility like of the house, I feel like that should fall on the man.
So you just don't like okay, cash at me half this.
No, like I don't want us to split a spectrum bill down to the dollar, to the penny. That's tacky.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I don't even have an argument. That's fair.
Thank you. Okay, so we agreed on something.
We agree. Okay. We absolutely agree. So the 50-50 thing comes up a lot as far as the issue with black relationships or black love right now. What do you think are some other issues that are causing this gender war, this rift?
I feel like men don't want to court women. They want to have you come over and chill at their house, or either they want to try to come to your house and chill at yours. I don't want to do that.
Sorry, sweetheart. That's what men are left to believe, that's what you want. That's what the women are not understanding. Waste time wisely. Big shout outs, bro. Go-getters definitely in the building. That's one of them Sigma Nation.
Sweet.
Give it up to Go-getter. Even when he's donating $10, we give him the baller alert because he comes around here flashing every now and then, putting everybody in their place. All right, big shout outs to that dude. But like what women have to understand, that's the psychological problems that women are not getting. When men look at Instagram, they're seeing nothing but women that want to take off their clothes, women that want to act a fool, women that want to be sexually liberated. So now the hypnosis has went to a man's brain, and now men are just saying, hey, women want to be sexually liberated, so let me just treat them the way that they are acting. So now girls are like, no, you're supposed to court me, you're supposed to take me out, you're supposed to treat me good. But the men are like, well, over these past 10 years, you've been showing us that you just want to be sexually liberated, and these are the results. It starts with psychological conditioning. Women don't understand that men are conditioned to look at them as sex objects because they want men to look at them as a sex object in order to get attention so they feel pretty.
Okay. Why? Thought experiment. Why do you think that
I still believe in traditional...
No, why do you think it changed? Like, why do you think men don't want to do that anymore?
I feel like men don't want to do that anymore because of this whole term simping.
Simping?
Simping and wanting to clap cheeks is two different things. When it comes to simping is mental illness. That's a man trying to win a woman over by relinquishing all of his power. That's what a simp is when you blatantly know that the woman does not like you, but you continue to chase her as well. That's a simp. If a man is in a relationship and you're clapping cheeks and you and her are having a good relationship and you do nice things for her, that's not simping. Simping is when the woman does not like you. Like, I just watched this Netflix series last night where the husband killed his wife and both of his children to think that he was going to go be with the younger girl. But what happened was, when at the beginning, and me and my woman was talking about this, she was like, well, why would he do that? And I said, look at the beginning of the relationship. She said that the wife said when they was interviewing her throughout like her marriage and stuff, she said, I didn't even like him. I pushed him away. I told him I didn't want him. I told him I didn't do this. And he just kept coming back. No matter what I did, he kept coming back trying to love me. So I eventually just gave in and loved him. And then while they were in the relationship for 8 years, all he talked about was how she talked down to him, how she was the dominant one in the relationship, how she made him feel low. And then one day he killed her. All right, that's simping. It's when the woman don't want you at all. She's blatantly showing you, I don't want you, but you just keep trying to get with her. Keep trying to get with him. Baby, I love you. I want to do this. I don't want you to hurt. She pushing you away and you keep coming out and you keep coming out. All right, that's simping. If you have a woman that like you and you're doing nice stuff, that ain't simping. Simping is when you know she do not like you, but you're blinded by it and you keep going as well. Like, is Russell Wilson a simp? Yes and no. She's giving him the attention, but everybody feels the vibes. They know the vibe is not real. Okay, when the vibe is not real, then it's definitely simping.
Is the new term, I think that's what y'all call it. You don't want to be simps. Mm-hmm. Is that right?
That's right.
So, that's right. I feel like a lot of that comes from men feeling like if they court a woman in a traditional sense, it puts them in a vulnerable position because they are going to be labeled as a simp simply because you take a woman out on a date. And let's say if you don't get what you thought you were going to get in return because of that date, now you feel like you're a simp. So rather than even putting yourself in that position of being vulnerable, you just altogether decide like, I'm not gonna court you at all, let's just come over and chill.
That's not a simp. All right, I'm gonna say it again. Big shout outs to Long Island Sounds. He just came through with the $2. He said, why did I get timed out? I don't know. You got to take that up with one of the moderators. I don't time people out, but I trust my moderators if they timed you out. There's a reason for that. Check with Keandre. He'll let you know. But I do want guys to understand the difference between a simp and just a beta traits. Okay, a simp, you know the woman doesn't like you. You have the vibe, she doesn't like you. But you're trying to get with her anyway because it's something about her that you just like. She starts cheating, you take her back. She talks to other men, you take her back. She's in front of you, she's disrespecting you, you take her back. That's simping, is when she's done everything in the book to show you, I do not like you, but you're still standing there trying to get with her. That's a simp. If you take a woman out on a date and you clapping cheeks that night or you clap cheeks that week and you take her on a date the next time, that ain't simping. If a woman is going along with you on this relationship thing, that's not simping. Simping is only when you know she just doesn't like you and you're relinquishing all your power to get her. That's a simp.